So hey, I'm not sure if timestamps will exist, but if they do, they should be down below. Otherwise, there's not really much to say. It is all in Japanese because there's not an English translation. And also just to say, on top of just showing you the options really quick while I'm saying stuff, yeah, it came out. This demo was available in 2022. And Gakuen Abaddon, or School Abaddon as I will call it in English for now, does not exist in, well, or it's not been completed yet. So without further ado, let's get into it. But yeah, without further ado, hey, do you know this is a new story, or is it? Well, we'll never know until we get our hands on the game. But without further ado, for those who are completely new because you couldn't watch for whatever reason the other Abaddon series, then basically this is a horror game. It's going to be a horror game, and it features a lot of, well, just horror elements. Also, advertises there will be scenes that are not great, but it is still treated as all ages. So, without further ado, I mean, there's not really much to say. I'll let the game rock as it is, with every, a few seconds between dialogue. But essentially, you are playing as Homura. And, well, I won't say much more than that for the moment. But our current goal, on top of this flashing diary that's a save point, is to just eat lunch at this school. Which, oddly enough, again, it might be a far cry from what those who are in the know are familiar with. Here's Mia. She's your childhood friend. She's Homura's childhood friend. And, would be a normal point of relationship with. Here's Kippei. He's your male best friend, and he also wants to eat lunch with you. But yes, just to explain for a moment as we kind of just walk around and do what we do, as Kippei tries to bring us back because we have to eat lunch with someone. Yeah, there's a lot going on in Abaddon. To explain it all in the span of this demo that I have here, as I talk to Yachika next, who is Mia's friend, and doesn't want to eat with me because, well, she doesn't like Homura, but or any boys in general. But yes, this game is actually supposed to be a spin-off of the main game, which, if you are not of the age to then you cannot play. So basically all you have to know is that spooky things will happen. Now, what's going to happen exactly? Again, some of you may already know, but as I'm here just doing this video as I am, if you hear the clickety clacks, that's the keyboard. We are going to actually eat with Kippei. So, and I will try to translate what's going on. I'm not going to claim that I'm the most Japanese fluent, but I do kind of understand what's going on for the moment. So, we are supposed to eat lunch, and we're not, Kippei and Homura, by extension Homura, are going to find a place to eat this lunch. Now, where exactly? Well, we'll find out. So, without further ado, we'll go through some explanations of what we see in the menu. Obviously, we don't have a CG section yet, this meaning a gallery that you can look into all of the CGs you've unlocked. For those who don't know what that means, all the pictures that you've unlocked that may have to do with the art of the game when an event happens, when something prevalent happens. Yeah, so here we have Homura's bento and we have Kippei's bento. We're supposed to eat together at some point. Now, I think Kippei will stop us if we try to eat here. Or maybe not. But essentially, you can take this moment to kind of go explore the school that Homura is in. And hey, wait just a moment, Homura. What, Kippei? There's a lot of interesting things, and there are some things that Kippei wants to try out. Again, I'm not going to pretend like I know everything, but in your item box, basically, just as kind of a soft tutorial, as I understand, into when you use items in your inventory, sometimes they become other things. And I think this bread that it's in Kippei's inventory and is now being used, gets turned into pankusa. Is that breadcrumbs? And I think you can use these as we take a look at them for a moment. We can go spread them out for the birds to eat, question mark? I could actually just be completely getting it wrong. Even though that should be a really simple word for me to remember. Oh, my Japanese. Anyone who knows me from Japanese classes would be kind of ashamed. But without further ado, yeah, we'll take a look around this school. So, for those who are in the know, you'll see some things here and there that might look familiar, but for those who don't, essentially a lot of Abaddon here, as I kind of basically just glaze Abaddon for a moment, is that you'll see a lot of characters that came from the main game. Now, you might have some questions as to how they are or how they're living in this school, but that's, again, I promise you, these are questions that are not going to be answered. Also, specific to this Abaddon, I wonder if I can do it now. No, I can't yet, because I don't think they allow me to do it. No. So I'll mention it as we go forward. So, we don't particularly want to talk... Well, I think we can talk to Homura's dad here, who is Yamanobe. He's a pretty cool dude, and is Homura's father. Now, of course... Homura and Yamanobe do have a close relationship, as Homura says that, yeah, I like you, Dad. But we're going to take another look around the school for a moment as we try to introduce you to other characters. Hey, this looks like a familiar face. It's Rikana. Rikana also a playable character that you can play in the main Abaddon series, but here she's just reading a book in the library because she is the book smart, intelligent type. And boy is she ever. The cool, calm, collected... would you call her an Ane-san type? Anywho, we don't have a key to enter the rooftop, so off we go. We're on the 3rd floor, I believe, if I was reading the map correctly, so we'll move to the 2nd floor. I think we're in the west wing of the school as well. But, again, we're gonna just try to explore the school a bit, because it's been a while. I have played this demo before, but it's been a long time since I played. So, I think we are getting... Yes, so this is Seijiro, another playable protagonist. In total, there are 6, including Homura himself. So I think we've met them all at this point. Kippei, Mia, Yachika, Seijiro, and Rikana can all be people who join Homura in a very spooky mansion, let's just say. So, as Kippei almost gets dragged into something completely different, Homura briefly reminds them that, hey, I thought we were supposed to eat lunch together, eat a bento together. We could talk to these other people as well, but I'm not gonna pretend like I know everything that's going on. So, anywho, as we allow Kippei to speak for a moment. Again, if we took Mia would also have some comments to say here and there, but here as we meet Yorozu, I think he is Yachika's brother, if I recall correctly. But, yeah, we don't want any trouble with them. Yeah, so Yachika no Ni-san. Okay, yes, he is Yachika's brother. And Kippei knows because, as it will, well, anyone who doesn't know Japanese, basically, Kippei's interested in Yachika, and we'll just lay out the relationships now. Kippei's interested in Yachika, Yachika's interested in Mia, Mia's interested in Homura, and Homura also reciprocates. But that doesn't mean that Homura doesn't like his friends as well. Here's Chiyoko, by the way. I won't say much more as we meet the bullies, Andre and Nobuo. But yeah, again, I might gloss over some characters, and part of it is because I don't remember their exact positioning in the Abaddon universe. But oh boy, you do see, I think 95% of these characters in Abaddon. Which again, for those who know Abaddon itself, again, I know I'm kind of speaking around it, but I don't want to go too much into it because for no other reason than robots have hurt me before. So here we get Kugayama and Kazama. I think these two were the ones who you see in a certain ending, and there will be at least 4 characters that you'll see in Gakuen Abaddon that were actually in the main game, but you will not have seen them because, as I've mentioned in those videos, there's a lot of content in the main game. I mean, I know I say it as if this game is not its own game. It is, but as we meet Misa, Ryo, and Hayato, who are definitely 3 characters you see in Abaddon, although you don't really interact with them because most of what you see are accounts of characters that were in, say, the Spooky Mansion, which has very, very sad connotations. But they're having a good time. Everyone's having fun here, which again, at this point, kind of brings up some questions. But enough about that. I've harped on about what's happening in Abaddon for a bit much. We'll continue exploring and try to explain what's happening in this school, although we aren't able to enter any of these rooms because, well, it is still a demo, so we can't be expected to enter everything. I can imagine some of these rooms being available. So if we're trying to be funny here, we could try to eat the bentos in the bathroom. Toilet de bento ka. Koko de tabeyo kana. No. That would be, no, yeah, even this is not a place to be eating lunch, or eating at all, really. Yeah, and again, keeping in mind, if you're asking, well, what happens if you bring Mia? Well, I'll leave that to you, because this demo is out for free, if you know where to get it. Again, I don't want to put any links, because I've been hurt by robots before, even though, no, I'm not going to say that much. We're just going to move on. So, to note really quickly, we'll go back to Homura's father to eat lunch, but just exploring a little while longer as we pick up Jeffrey the cat, I believe. Yeah, Jeffrey the cat. He'll join us in this room as we talk to Ayakoji. So, Homura, yeah, you coming over here. It's a bit strange for you to come visit me specifically. What's going on? Well, about my dad. Well, I mean, sorry, the principal? No, teacher. I thought he was just a teacher. But anywho, there are no problems, says Homura. Well, apparently in this universe, Homura has a weak constitution, so he gets sick easily, which is quite different than how he was otherwise, if I was reading that Japanese right. But, as we visit here, because Yachika was called to the office, if you didn't already talk to her again, then yeah, let's go find out. So, it seems like I think Kippe said he wanted to talk with, or he wanted to eat lunch around Homura's dad. But as we talk to Kaneda here, who is also a character we've seen before, yeah, he's actually, I think, an instructor along with his best pal Shima, best pal? But as we walk over towards Yachika, she doesn't really like us being here. So, yeah, she really doesn't like us being here. That's all you need to know. Look at those scissors on the desk. I wish I could pick those up. There's no reason to right now, but hey. Also, yes, Yachika is my favorite character if the what's on screen hasn't already clued you in. Hey, here's Yumiko. The less said about her, the better, but she has a connection with Seijiro, and that's all you need to know. So, she's gonna kick us out because she has no interest in anyone other than Seijiro. So, off to the gym we go. Or the gymnasium? How do I want to call it? Anywho, so, by any chance, are you guys thinking of eating lunch here? Yeah, we are. Well, that's too bad because, no, you can't. So off we go. I didn't read the whole dialogue there, and I'm not going to pretend like I understood. So off we go. That being said, just really quickly here, the other reason why I can't pretend, and it's not any fault because I'm sure that anyone who knows Japanese fluently can read the kanji in pixelated form, but boy, do I have trouble myself. So, I don't think there's anything else unless we move over to another part of the school. So, without further ado, I haven't explored every single part, although some parts are blocked in this school. So without further ado, let's just go eat lunch with Yamanobe. If I can even find the room again. Oh! But yeah, so we're going to save it here just to be thorough. But without further ado, let's eat the bento here. Are we going to eat it here? Yeah, we are. Yeah, what's up, old man? We're eating lunch together, and Yamanobe's a pretty cool dude, basically. There's not really much that can really frustrate him in terms of people immediately around Homura, because he loves Homura so much. So, I'm not going to translate what Kippe just said, but he's basically picking up food and having a fun little spar between himself and Yamanobe. Taking food before Yamanobe can eat it? Question mark? Something along those lines. But anywho, we return back to the classroom now that we've eaten lunch. But yeah, it doesn't seem like, well, if you're speeding through the demo, obviously it won't seem like there's much. But again, you can get a lot, if you know some of the lore of Abaddon, you can get a quick little glance as to what is happening here and there. Also, I have unable to find the classroom. I think it's actually on the 3rd floor, but as we head to the rooftop for a moment, I haven't really interacted with all the characters I could run into. There's an item there, but that's for later. And off we go. So, let me just make sure. Can I use it here? Hey, do I want to spread these on the 3rd floor rooftop? Yeah, let's do it. So, without further ado, let's get back in the classroom, and now that we've eaten lunch, time to get back to class. Question mark? Before Kippe, and as it may not be totally obvious, it was supposed to be a normal day, says Homura, and Kippe does love soccer, that's what I was trying to say. So studying together, you know, being around the girl that I like, and making dumb conversations, you know, it was supposed to be the same until something happened. Again, all of it, I assume, is Homura's monologue, and here are the CGs. His arm! Yeah, and all of that seemed quite familiar, and I hope robots don't hurt me. I do have a sensor ready, but I just figured that it didn't we didn't need it. So, as Homura gets woken up by Mia, and we get Mia's theme in our ears and Mia in our face. Yeah, you don't seem very well. Maybe we should call for his dad. His dad? I think I don't know if I read that correctly, but in any case, well, I saw a weird dream, says Homura. Again, I probably did not translate that correctly, but don't call me dad while we're at school, Homura. All right, got it, dad. But anywho, as we all speak funnies in the classroom, we suddenly get an announcement, if I recall this moment correctly, because that is the school bell ringing. And yeah, Homura, you got some stuff to do before we go back. I think we're returning a book. I can't remember exactly, but we do have some errands to run because Yamanobe said so. So this is the moment. Hey, Homura. What you gonna do? Well, we have, we did see a weird dream, so Homura's still kind of spooked about that. But, what kind of a dream was it? Asked Mia. Well, by the time I woke up, I forgot all about it. I mean, it was a lot to take in as Yachika comes and slaps us around 360. So, hey, have you woken up now? Yachika says after slapping him in the face. And Mia asks, are you alright, Homura? Well, my eyes. My eyes! And off we go. So, as we make our funnies for a little while longer, and Kippei tries to laugh it off because he really is interested in Yachika. Well, we've got to focus on, well, curious questions about Yamanobe-sensei and going to go visit him because, yeah, we got to return this book to the library, question mark? Yeah, never mind. So, as Mia joins our party and Kippei decides to tag along with us, I don't get to have my favorite character with us, so Yachika just decides to go to the toilet. No, actually, Mia didn't join our party. She's going to the toilet with Mia. So, hey, about Yachika, man. She can't go alone, basically, and Homura's like, well, I wasn't thinking about that, but sure, whatever. And off we go to return a book to the library, I think. So, we'll just leave our stuff here as we move on. So, yeah, it's break time, but before actual break time, what do you want? We have some stuff to do. Well, Homura says we gotta go to the library, question mark, in the school that's on the 3rd floor as well. So, hey, and I think, no, I still can't do it. I'm trying to hit a button that's supposed to show me something, but I can't do it. So, off we go. And yeah, I think they were mentioning West Wing, East Wing as well, but just being completely certain. Huh? Yamanobe-sensei is not around. Well, he said that was just to return it. Never mind, it wasn't to the library. It was just to return it to his office. Office? Question mark, I'm going crazy. Well, anyway, this would be kind of like a fun little event, says Kippei, in a video game. Well, meta stuff. But as we actually enter the library for a moment, hey, 100 ways to serenade someone? Question mark? Well, or was it something else? Wow, I can't read Japanese. Funny enough, people come to me for Japanese questions, and I'm by far not the best. As we pass by Rikana in the hallway, and she gets a funny feeling. So for those who don't know, Rikana does. So when I talked about character interests, as Shigure comes up to Rikana because he's interested in her, I believe. Even though he's a teacher, but, you know. Oh, pain. But yeah, Rikana's interested in Homura's dad instead of Homura. But she does get a strange sensation from Homura. Part of that is that in her lore, she does have a sensitivity towards the supernatural, essentially. So, yeah, that's all I have to say as Seijiro hangs out on the rooftop. So, as a character that we all love to hate enters the rooftop along with Seijiro, Shima, so as prefaced by Seijiro saying Shima no Yatsu, which is kind of a rude way to mention someone. Yeah, Shima is actually more the cowardly type, but boy is he doesn't display the best human traits, which is part of the reason why Seijiro, well, they both don't like each other, really. So, as they converse with each other for a moment. I think actually Shima is supposed to be a professor here, because he actually is older. Now, the funny thing is, I think Seijiro and Shima and Rikana are all around the close age in early mid-20s, I think, in Abaddon. If I'm wrong, well, hey. But as Seijiro continues to hassle Shima, saying, "Do you understand? Yeah, I can send. You have a scent on you, Shima. The scent of tobacco. And so now just give me the smokes instead," or something like that. Anyway, again, I was kind of just phasing out towards that. But as Seijiro hears a funny noise. So as much as Seijiro does seem like the cool guy, he does actually get spooked out quite easily as he picks up his signature or just a lighter. But yeah, he was like, "What? Where did this come from?" "Well, it's mine now," says Seijiro, and we'll return to the rooftop. But before that, that's pretty dangerous. There's suddenly a hole in this fencing here for whatever reason. But yeah, let's go back. "And just continue just hanging out up here," says Seijiro. There's some other stuff happening, but I didn't actually go through. But he suddenly notices something in the sky falling down. And he has no idea what it is, although if for those who know, you probably already kind of recognize what or who it could actually be. Lightning? Lightning is lightning without thunder, or anywho. And the ring of a bell, question mark, as we get some pretty cool, like this is really good pixelated CG, by the way. But Kippe asks, "Hey, Homura, what you looking at?" "Well, there's something outside." And I'll let the game kind of work for itself. A cry that rumbles throughout the whole school and in fact makes it shake. "Hey, what's happening?" says the students around us, I assume. "Oh my goodness, it's like an earthquake, question mark?" But the whole school is shaking and the school is beginning to fall all around everyone. And yeah, that's not good. "What's happening?" says Kippe. "What just happened? What do we do?" Homura says, "Well, at this moment we gotta check on Mia and Yachika first, because they were in a small space, assuming that they went to the bathrooms. But before we do that, be safe." And off we go. So specifically, the best we know is that they are in a bathroom somewhere. But before we do that, because I probably added a timestamp here, let's go over some more of the options. So here's the order change, in case you didn't know what it was in Japanese. Obviously, this is checking out the items. Kippe has a hairband, which, yeah, I mean, if you know what it is, you know what it is. It's a signature part of his attire. And as for Homura, he has a medicine case, which can be used 3 times because he's sickly. In the main game proper, where they're in the mansion, he is carrying a water bottle instead. But let's go see what's on the first floor, because we're looking through bathrooms, but we're not sure if they're still okay. And unfortunately, just entering this room, we're not okay. I thought they were going to the first floor, but I was wrong. I mean, I just said that we're supposed to be checking the bathrooms for Mia and Yachika, but you never know, right? So, the security iron gates have fallen down, the shutters have fallen down, so we have to go other ways to try and look for Mia and Yachika. So, first and foremost, oh, well, we thought they were in the bathroom, but I guess what actually they're checking for is that they went back to the classroom, because maybe they're back in the classroom, and so Homura's calling out for Mia and Yachika, and they're not in the classroom. So, just remembering that, as Kippe says, they're not here, and Homura then remembers that they went to the restroom together, so maybe they're still there. But we're getting this, the Japanese school announcement that, hey, stay safe, don't go anywhere. But, well, when the 2 guys are worried about the 2 girls, they're gonna go try and check on them. So, first we grab Kippe's signature bag. I completely forgot about that. And off we go. So, hey, you 2 students heard? You're supposed to stay safe. Well, hey. that's not the case. So I think there's another bathroom over in the east part, but unfortunately there's a hole in the ground, so we can't go through that. So the part of this is that I think says Sodan. I could probably enter the Japanese, but I don't want to waste time just sitting there. But basically, you can talk with your party and basically find out what you have to do, which is something that the other Abaddon game did not have. So as we check this women's restroom, Mia calls out from within, and we are about to be introduced to a new game mechanic that was not in the other Abaddon game. So, as we're trying to open this door, for whatever reason, we're just gonna try to force the door open because Yachika's stuck in here. There's a 38% chance, but hey, we do our best. Ow, just pain instead. Now, what I'm curious about is that I think the order does matter here, so let's find out. So this time we'll let Homura try. And we can open up the door for Yachika as Yachika jumps out because she's also a scaredy cat. She puts up a tough front, but yes, she's scared too. As she thinks that it's Mia, but instead it's Homura, and so he gets slapped. So that was the worst. You know, that should be harassment, and I won't mention the kind of harassment. But even entering the women's restroom, hey, what are you guys doing? And he's like, well, we're Homura and Kippei, we're worried about you guys. Well, and then Yachika just gives Kippei a dirty look and goes, well, hey. But as we all come back together for a moment, yeah, we should be safe, right? Well, unfortunately, there are some things that we should probably look into, because, I mean, how can we be safe when the whole school shook? So Homer's worried about his dad, Yachika is just worried about surviving in general, and Kippei will join Homura in his worries, along with Mia, because Mia's a kind and caring girl, if you haven't already, I mean, there's no way you could have gotten that from what I've said, but she is the kind childhood friend. Also, I think I'm walking the wrong way, so let me just make sure I know what I'm doing. So, we're gonna try to check on Homura's dad, but, where he actually is he still in that room? Or is it still empty? Let's find out. So, we did have to come this way anyway, because there's a gap in the floor, so let's find out if we can enter the right locations. Hey, he is in his room, and he's with Rikana as well. So, you're not injured, Homura? Nope, I'm fine. But what about you, Dad? Haha, I'm healthy as always. Oh my god. Well, isn't really familiar with Rikana here, as he wasn't with Rikana and Seijiro in the main game. But she's third year in the school. And Rikana decides to introduce herself because she very well knows about the professor and therefore knows that he has a son. And as Seijiro runs in worried about Rikana because of what just happened, yeah, unlike knowing Homura, Seijiro and Rikana are acquainted. And as if I didn't already mention it, yes, Seijiro is interested in Rikana, for better or worse. And unfortunately, Rikana is instead interested in the professor. So it's a strange triangle because Yamanobe is just a cool professor dude. So, as Homura introduces himself to Seijiro, and Seijiro Domon, I think that's his full name, introduces himself. Yeah, I'm reading the kanji, Do and Mon. And yeah. So, let's all return back to our classrooms where it's safe. But, yeah, Seijiro just tries to be cool, and Rikana's cooler. So, so he's like, what? What's wrong with what's wrong? So he's trying to actually explain that he saw a girl falling from the sky, and so everyone went silent for a moment as he explained. He's like, I'm not going crazy. And Rikana's like, Seijiro, you must be going crazy. But as Yamanobe coolly stands up from his chair and decides to look for something, but he advises the other students to go back and make sure that they stay safe. So, just to explain really quickly, because I'm not going to pretend like I know everything that's going on, Yamanobe will leave Homura in the hands of Rikana and Seijiro for a moment as he goes to do his own thing. Now, what exactly that thing will be will happen right after he takes us back. So, hey, Homura, let's go to, I think, well, let me just make sure. Do I have a map? I don't have a map. So what do you have? Seijiro has his lighter. He has the aroma cigarettes, I think, right? Yeah, nicotine 0. There's no nicotine in these cigarettes, so they're just there to look cool. But as for Rikana, she has a she has her signature dictionary. Now, I actually don't know where we're supposed to go because I thought we were going to get our map, and we didn't get our map, so off we go. Again, I was trying to read this thing. Homura, we're going to the room. So, I don't know which room that is. I want to say it was... Am I going the wrong way? I don't actually remember exactly where to go. I think... it's at least to the first floor, and I'm going absolutely insane. Well, might as well fill in time as we go on, and we'll change the order a little bit. We'll put Seijiro in front, because he's a cool guy, or he's trying to be a cool guy. And yeah, he's actually a scaredy cat. I think, does he have the most phobias? Or was it Mia? I don't exactly remember, but as we snake our way around... we don't have a plank, so instead, we have to go try to find a way around. Oh my goodness, I'm completely lost. Oh goodness, help! But I thought we were supposed to go this way, were we not? Well, we're gonna keep going. Oh, we're actually on the second floor. I thought I was on the first floor. I was like, why are we not able to connect? Yeah, so we are supposed to go outside here. To the main area, to the main outside area, because we are about to see Shima and his friend try to leave the school for help. So as people cry out and at this weird darkness that's encroaching everywhere, Shima and Kaneda sensei speak about what they should be doing. So I mean, the school is in a bad shape, but maybe we should go out and look for help? ? And so they're gonna go together. So wait here at the front here, and we'll go look for help as they venture forth into the darkness. Kaneda-sensei, Shima-san. Hey, is it really going to be okay? That darkness doesn't look safe, says Seijiro. So even with that, even if like lightning strikes, what are they going to do? So hopefully they'll be okay. Well, Seijiro-senpai, gotta hope for the best. Again, I am kind of just ad-libbing here because that's completely not what they're saying. But the general sentiment is there. I can obviously read some of their names and some of the kanji that's easier. So, as Seijiro gives reasons or reasons not to be worried, Rikana is trying to also stay calm, but she realizes that the situation is not quite normal either, with the darkness that's in front of the school gates and the lightning that struck the school, along with the school just falling into the floor due to the roar of a woman. As we get the male scream of Abaddon from the darkness. And as Shima screams Kaneda's name and runs all the way back, he's like, what? Seijiro's like, hey, Shima, what just happened out there? Whoa! And as they try to go toward see if Shima's okay, Shima explains that he saw something and that Kaneda, well, he can't exactly explain because he's so scared. Seijiro's like, hey, man, speak up. In the middle of the darkness, there was something, a thing. And they suddenly hear Kaneda's voice, and a hand reaching out, and Kaneda reaches out and manages to pull Kaneda out from the darkness. And yeah, unfortunately, Kaneda got hurt, so... as we'll do in a second, we are going to go look for help for them. And I think specifically, we're going to go all the way to the gymnasium so that we can take care of Kaneda. That's one of the main things I do remember for this part. Nope, wrong way. And so as everyone yells at me, Homura, for not going into the gymnasium here, Shima asks if Kaneda's okay and offers his arm so that Kaneda can limp inside the gymnasium. But as all the students gather in here, I think that's where actually the announcement was telling us to go. Yeah, it seems like it's safe there, but no one still knows what's happening inside of the school. So, as everyone gets acquainted with each other, because Rikana and Seijiro have not met Homura's friends yet, yeah, Yachika and Rikana quickly get into a fight. And from the other Abaddon game, they don't have a good relationship here either. So, as Yachika says, hey, aren't you that occult girl who's like too interested into occult? That's weird. You're a weird girl. And Homura decides, yeah, we gotta go get help for Kaneda because he's injured. And so Mia says, hey, I know about nursing and stuff, and I'm interested in nursing. I'll go join with you. And since Seijiro's also worried, he's also kind of come along with us as a senpai. So, hey, is Kaneda okay? Says Kippei. Looks pretty bad. Well, if anything happens to Mia, says Yachika, I'm gonna slap you again. And yeah, we're gonna go. So, and Rikana is also the type to say, I guess, what's the phrase for it? Not dark comedy, but she often speaks in very, there's a phrase for it, oh my goodness. But anyway, as we move over to the nurse's office, because we're looking for wounds, and hey, you know, all these children about trying to get into the nurse's office and think I'm gonna treat them, but this time we have a reason to, because Kaneda-sensei is hurt. And so, yeah, we all explained that he has an injury, but, yeah, Seijiro and Yumiko will quickly find out. There are actually some delinquents in here holding up the room where Yumiko actually needs to do her work. So, as we are about to get into our next section here, as Mia tries to plead her case to these mean people, mean students, actually, apparently. We'll see if it works or not. And, no, it's, no, Homura says, no, you're not allowed to do anything bad to Mia. Unfortunately, that is not what these bullies want to hear, so instead, they're gonna take their anger out on us, and we're gonna have a fight here. So, I guess we just fight our way out. There's not really much to it. I think you can brute force your way out. I'm sure there's a way to be a bit more efficient, though, in this fight. So, as we all just use our fists to communicate. Yeah, again, if you didn't know already, this is how the battle system in Abaddon normally goes. In fact, I think this is still RPG Maker, if I'm noting it correctly. But this is a very old version of RPG Maker where you essentially get first-person view in battle, which, again, can still be put to very good use. Also, is Homura really gonna faint here? Well, we're gonna find out. Homura is in the Hakyo state, or essentially Berserk state, or, well, there's another way to say it, but I'm not willing to look it up the words right now because I'm focused on dealing damage, so we'll speed this up a bit. And off we go. Unfortunately, as a forced part of this event, Homura is going to purposely get injured here, and we will make use of Mia's signature item. Also because Homura is, again, as I've said here, in this continuity of Abaddon, Homura has a weak constitution. So, we're going to go into our inventory and use the medicine kit to take care of Homura's injury. Specifically, the injury negative status effect, at least in the other Abaddon game, halves your damage, which is quite bad, so you don't want that to happen. But otherwise, we're going to exit and tell Yumiko-sensei that, hey, everything's okay. And she's going to express her things in her very dark way. So, as she heals us all for our trouble, she's going to take an interest in Seijiro and say, well, if you want me to help Kaneda as well, or just because she's interested, she's going to drag Seijiro inside, and they're going to have a long talk. So Mia asks, you know, I wonder what they're talking about. And Homura goes, well, Sa? Who knows? And Seijiro goes, well, my bad. Well, sorry guys, let's just go. And Homura asks, what did you guys talk about? Don't worry about it, says Seijiro. Well, your face is kind of red. I said it was nothing, says Seijiro. Let's just go. And yeah, we'll just go. And Yumiko says, tee later. And yeah, we'll just go. So as we approach the end of this demo, again, it's available. It's an all-age game, question mark? But we'll do a bit more over here as we speak with Nami, Takumi, and Aika, who are the other three characters who you'll see on the other half of a route in Abaddon. Here are Misa, Ryo and Hayato again. And here are the bullies that we beat up earlier. Andre and Nobuo. Andre and Nobuo? Yeah, Andre and Nobuo. If I'm getting the names wrong, please correct me. What should we do, say these generic students? I think there are a few other characters, so we can go talk to them. Kazama and Kugayama. I think, so just to explain, these two are in a very, very specific end of the main game, if I recall correctly. And you literally have to do something very specific for it to happen. I actually wanted to talk with Ayakoji, but it's fine. We'll go treat Kaneda-sensei now. I also forgot to save. I don't think it's possible to completely fail here, though. But yeah, so Chiyoko here is actually... her and Kaneda are close, and that's all you need to know. Unfortunately, Kaneda suddenly feels very bad when Mia tries to treat him, and as his sprite shows, something really strange is happening to him. So, as a weird, fleshy mass grows on his arm and therefore his whole body, unfortunately, yeah, what you see happens. So, as everyone witnesses the odd thing happening to Kaneda right now, soon everyone just decides to stop there and freak out, but unfortunately doesn't stop Kaneda from tossing Chiyoko against the wall in a very, very not great manner. And Shima goes, is she dead? Oh goodness, he freaks out and runs away like the coward he is. Also, Ayakoji also freaks out and runs like the coward he is, although he's a bit more reasonable about it, as everyone in the gymnasium leaves after witnessing what just happened. Which is kind of just self-evident. And yeah, these delinquents will just push these two generic students out of the way, and nearly gets one dropped in a pit as Hayato, I think that was Hayako, Aika, and Ryo help the students back up. But as Homura and his friends unfortunately get left behind here, he has to be slapped back to awareness by Seijiro, who says, yeah, stop spacing out. Something really bad is happening. So instead of running, everyone decides that they're gonna hold their ground, and here's an actual horror fight. So as Homura, Mia, and Seijiro decide to fight Kaneda-sensei, the other three, I assume, are fighting Chiyoko. So not really much to say here. You can just brute force this for the most part, but just to make sure, yeah, I think Seijiro gave us a weapon. I'm not going to pretend like I know what it was, but as Mia gets poisoned there, unfortunately, I think we can treat that because she does have her medicine. Well, it's not hers, but she has a medicine box. And so yeah, specifically, Kaneda here is attacking us by like grabbing us, throwing us around, and sometimes just exploding flesh into us, which is actually hurting us and giving us injuries as well. In this case, it's poisoning us specifically, gameplay-wise, but again, that's why we're using Mia for her medicine kit. I keep saying box, because I think it actually says Kusuri Hako, so drug and box, but in this context, it's a medicine kit. So yeah, Kaneda is grabbing them, kind of trying to infect them with the flesh that's growing from his body, unfortunately. As Mia goes berserk there, and now we just go all out, because I think still in this game, not that there's too many battles, when a character goes berserk, they can't suffer any other status effects. So we just have to suffer under this and hopefully get out soon? Question mark? So, I don't think we do anything else, really. We just do our best. I think Seijiro does give us something to make this battle a lot easier, but I'm not doing it correctly, so instead, I'm just gonna do what I best. Woo! I'm gonna smoke these cigarettes, says Seijiro, as he gets to heal himself to full. Again, cigarettes, just as an item, in general, heal Seijiro alone. He is the only one who benefits from it, because none of the other characters smoke. So as Mia goes down, unfortunately, we should be able to just brute force our way out. So as Ayakoji comes back and actually is a hero for once, he uses a firearm, I believe. Mia gets back on her feet, and yeah, Homer's wondering like, what just happened? And unfortunately, I think the Chiyoko version of whatever she was ran away, unfortunately. So, as we wonder what exactly happened to Kaneda-sensei, we all realize, as Yachika shows something, that, yeah, she got hurt. So, and then soon Kippei also joins in, and we realize that everyone who was fighting, all of Homura's friends and Homura himself, were injured specifically by these monstrosities. So we noticed that since Kaneda was hurt, apparently, and he became one of those things, now the worry becomes whether or not these 6 will also become monsters as well. So Kippei says, so what's going to happen to us now? And Rikana glumly and darkly goes, well, what happened to Kaneda happened because he got injured. So since he essentially infected all 6 of them, then what happened to him must and will happen to those 6 as well. And so everyone starts to freak out, but as Rikana tries to keep a calm head, unfortunately, she tries to break the unfortunate truth to everyone. But Ayakoji comes in to say, well, you guys, if that's the way it has to be, then maybe you guys have to do something, whether it's leave, whether it's do something else, or maybe they'll still be fine. Which is part of the conversation. Again, I didn't catch everything, but yeah, to avoid becoming what Kaneda-sensei just became, well, Homura says maybe we can go consult my dad because he seems to know a bit about this. But also Homura is worried about his dad as well. So, or either that or specifically Homura was worried about his dad because his dad talked about leaving. But that's where the demo ends. So yeah, without further ado, as I pretty much yapped on for nearly 45 minutes, Yamanobe tells us, hey, yeah, this is the end of the demo. This is the end of Gakuen Abaddon. Thanks for playing. So what will happen to Homura and what will happen to me? Ho ho ho. Yeah, and what exactly is going to happen to the rest of the students and staff? Is there a way to save them? Well, gonna have to find out later because, yeah, it's a heart-pounding experience, but this is where the demo ends for now. So, even though it was a short time, says Yamanobe, well, I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave positive comments for the developer, and away you go in his Yamanobe voice. Available on these locations, I mean, literally English letters on screen, but, yeah, again, this demo did come out at least a few years ago in 2022. So, without further ado, yeah, not really much else to say as we return to the main menu. So, again, if you're interested in anything, if you have any comments, questions, concerns, and you definitely want to correct me where I accidentally mistranslated things, just on a general level, I will see you when I see you. So we're at the end screen now. If you want to support me, you know what to do. If you don't want to support me, that's cool too. I will be patiently waiting. I don't know if an English version is going to come out as the Japanese version actually comes out, whenever it does. But again, demo came out, as you see in the bottom of the screen, in 2022, and we'll be waiting till past the end of 2025, most likely. From what I know, just one last thing, as the end screen should be on, if not is appearing now, is that the developer does have places in which they report their updates. I think last I looked, the developer was going through some hard times, from what I understand. So, I mean, they are going through development as well, because they talked about mechanics like weapon endurance system, other things that can happen, other characters that you will interact with, and will appear more prominently as compared to, or just at all, compared to the other Abaddon games. So yeah, without further ado, that should be the end of this video. Nothing really much else to say. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!